They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
The exhibition season is over. It's time to play for real as the 2018 NFL season is underway. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by a man in his 11th year now at the helm of the Falcons, the 2016 NFL MVP, Matt Ryan.
What a season Matt Ryan had in 2016 where he led the NFL in so many different categories as a quarterback. Numbers dropped in 2017, but the team still qualified for the playoffs, took down the higher-seeded Rams in L.A. before losing a tough one in Philadelphia to the eventual Super Bowl champions. Matt Ryan, he makes them go in Atlanta.
They begin the drive with Coleman. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
4 straight seasons of 1,000 yards for Julio Jones as wide receiver. One of the strongest receivers in the league. Runs over defensive backs, but also thinks his way through the game. Really knows how to collaborate with his quarterback, Matt Ryan.
Coleman. This will go for 5 up to the 33. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. So first possession, 4th and short. Field goal's no gimme from here. What do you think about going for it?
I'm not just thinking about it. I'm signaling go for it. Let's get this, all right? Yeah, look, you're right. You know, the field goal is there, but it's not a chip shot. My big thing is opening drive. You're trying to establish momentum. Let's not stall it ourselves. Let's go get this first down and then continue on downfield and try to get a touchdown.
Thank you, confidence.
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Hey, let's go.
Now Ryan on 1st down. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
Now Hill. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I look at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Look who is trotting out there to take the snaps. It's the much-anticipated return of the quarterback, Carson Wentz.
And what a season Carson Wentz was having in 2017 after a rookie season that was a little bit up and down, as you might expect. He was having an MVP caliber year. 33 touchdown passes at the time of his injury. Had his team at 11-2, riding high.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, it's Wentz. And his first look is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Returnable here from the 38. He will not go down.
Have to retake those ankles.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's Coleman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones, 39 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Eagles offense heading out. You know, last year at this time, Charles, we said this was a franchise that's kind of been in neutral for a while. They're not neutral anymore. Defending Super Bowl champs. What do you think, favorites again?
I think so, because this team has few holes, if any. Look, your quarterback, Carson Wentz, gets hurt before the season's over. His backup, Nick Foles, wins Super Bowl MVP. Wentz probably would have won the regular season if he finished out the year. Offensive line, one of the best in the game. Passing game keeps getting better. Multiple runners who can run it and catch it. Flip it over to defense. Tremendous defensive front. They can just swarm and get after you.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Working from the gun, Wentz. His throw incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And now let's discuss Julio Jones. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise, he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
Let's go.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop. Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now it's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. Past the 20, 10, touchdown, Falcons. Austin Hooper, 62 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide recievers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And it's now 21-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you can circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tech McKinley in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. Of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Ryan going option right side. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll run it with Coleman. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The defending champion Eagles having their troubles in this first game since Super Bowl 52, but they've got a 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one goes for 24 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Can't have enough good pass-catching tight ends in the NFL. And the Eagles, they wanted to replenish their stock. They lost Trey Burton in the offseason, so they selected Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State in the 2nd round, and he is nothing but a big-time pass catcher.
What a great story, because South Dakota State didn't offer him a scholarship out of high school. Walked on there. Carson Wentz, that's his first touchdown pass since December 10th of last year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch. Oh, this is blocked. Elliott now to kick this one away. Here's Oliver. And an alley to run. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 20. Touchdown, Falcons. In for the score. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Wentz now to throw. Goes underneath for Sproles. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. Wentz going to throw. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. We got 4. There we go. Back. Lady.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Here we go. 120.
Here's Wentz to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Ryan Poole that time there to get a hand on it. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go. Waiting.
Now Wentz. Caught right side is Jeffrey. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 54 yards away. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener, as we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Looking forward to joining the crew this year. We'll get back to you guys in Philly in just a moment, but first, let's look ahead to opening weekend right here in 2018. Some very intriguing games in that early window, highlighted by the one going on at the Superdome. A big test for the Saints as they'll face off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As for the 4 o'clock game, some good ones there as well. One being in Charlotte, where it'll be the Panthers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And finally on Monday night, a doubleheader to start the new year. The Jets and Lions in Matt Patricia's debut, followed by Rams Raiders in the return of John Gruden to Oakland. In our game, it was the former MVP, Matt Ryan, with a strong first half. His guys have a 3-touchdown lead as we're about ready to go into the second half. And to get you through it, we give it back to Brandon Gaud.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. This is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Play action to Sproles. Wentz. And trying to get it to his tight end, Rodgers, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Ready, back 25. Gun. Get up!
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
They'll run it with Sproles. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he fields it cleanly. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 43. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. Oh, nice move in midfield. And he'll running right through it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
You know, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position. Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Ryan drops it off for Coleman. Shedding through the defense. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Ryan. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. But they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Again, they'll run it. Again, it Sproles. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
We're good.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Wentz. And this one is incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
On first down, Ryan. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Ready! White 25! You ready tonight?
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. It's caught over the middle, Hooper. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
This is Coleman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. Throwing is Wentz. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley able to get him for a loss of about 3.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Here's Ryan to throw. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Short kick. One of the up mid will take it now. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Terrell McClain able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Ooh, the juke. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 18. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Chris Long able to drop him for a loss of 4.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side. Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Here's Ryan. And he's got Sanu. The 30. The 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
On 1st down, Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
15 yards through the air on a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And across the midfield, stripe into Eagle territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Get up!
Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this when everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Atlanta, they start the season with a great win on the